What's up, gamers? It's your boy MtG here, back from another Magic video, and it is Movember. Shout out to my mustache kings out there. If you're also repping Movember, put it in the comments below for a little hairy kiss, little top lip action. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stop being weird and get into this deck. So the deck we're playing today is something I saw MegaMogwai play. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a Brazilian man. I think he's from Brazil. Brazil sounds right. Anyway, he's another MTG pro and content creator. He's a streamer, YouTuber. I like watching his videos because he plays some nutty but pretty powerful decks occasionally. And the deck we are playing today is in a Fires of Invention plus Ilharg the Raised Boar, very big Gruul monsters deck. The biggest play we want to be making is playing Ilharg the Raised Boar, attacking with Ilharg the Raised Boar, and putting either God Eternal Ronus or Indra's Forerunners onto the field following that. But the thing that Fires of Invention does for us is it allows us to play, first of all, we can play Fires of Invention and follow it up with another spell after that, like Nullhide Ferox or Rhythm of the Wild or something like that. But it allows us to play shared summons to go into our library, grab any two creatures we want, and then actually cast one of those creatures after that. Because normally if we're playing shared summons, we're probably having to wait around till next turn to play it because this costs 5 mana. But since we can cast 2 spells with mana cost less than or equal to the number of lanes we have, we can cast shared summons, go to our library, get Ilharg the Raised Boar, and Indra's Forerunners, a Thorn Mammoth, really whatever we need. And that's one of the things that I like about this deck. It allows us to play several one-ofs for creatures that we just might need in a certain matchup, and we can go into our library and get it with shared summons. One thing I will say about this deck is that it's not real consistent because it does rely on us getting out certain pieces to set up the board, and it can just die to counter spells in the mid game. Like if our opponent is playing a lot of counter spells, that can be pretty rough. But since this is best of one, we're playing it in best of one, so we won't usually, like most of our matchups are not going to have a lot of counter spells, except for maybe Simic Flash and Dimir Control or something like that. But I really like it because with this deck, you usually know if you're going to win or not at a certain point, right? Like if you're getting overrun by aggro, fine, that's going to happen. But we usually can get a one-turn kill by playing, Ilharg the Raised Boar with Rhythm of the Wild, so we give it haste, and then we bring down, like, Thorn Mammoth, remove stuff. So we can do a lot of crazy stuff. And yeah, I mean, this is the deck, right? We got Fires of Invention here, as I said. We got 4 copies of Shared Summons, 3 copies of Ilharg the Raised Boar. I don't really think we need to run 4 because we have Shared Summons, because if we're missing Ilharg, we can go in and get it. And if it gets killed, we can just put it third from the top in our library, and that makes it quicker for us to draw. Other one-ofs that we're playing are Cavalier of Flame, God Eternal Ronus, Aggressive Mammoth, Dracuseth Maw of Flames, Thorn Mammoth, and Indra's Forerunners. Now, you probably are familiar with Indra's Forerunners and God Eternal Ronus. This one is going to double our creature's power. This one gives +2/+2 Vigilance and Trample until end of turn when it enters the battlefield. But Thorn Mammoth is a new card. This is a 7 mana 6/6 with Trample, and whenever it enters the battlefield or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Thorn Mammoth fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So this is pretty effective removal for us in the late game. If we need to get a blocker or 2 out of the way, we can kill them with Thorn Mammoth and then swing in for the victory. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Sometimes we'll need Aggressive Mammoth to give all of our creatures Trample. And what else? Oh, Escape to the Wilds. We're playing 2 copies of Escape to the Wilds. This is another card that allows us to see more of our library, because with this deck, we really don't have any draw, except 1 copy of the Great Hinge that I've thrown in here because I find it is probably going to be pretty useful to get that draw going on in the late game. If we're playing in those grindy matchups against Jeskai Fires or something like that, right? If we go up against a Fires matchup, sometimes the game ends up being kind of grindy, so we want to get a Great Hinge out so we can draw cards and continue to play the game. We also have 2 copies of Nullhide Ferox, which is one of the better cards in the deck. This is one of the best performers that I've seen so far. Being able to get a 6/6 creature out on turn 4, especially after Fires of Invention, this is really nice. And the reason we play Nullhide Ferox is that most of the time we're casting our big creatures with Fires of Invention's ability, so we're going to have the mana available to pay 2 to cast, so that to allow us to cast non-creature spells. Because as you know, Nullhide Ferox says it has hexproof and you can't cast non-creature spells. But if you spend 2 mana, he loses all abilities until end of turn. So normally we want to play this after we get down Fires of Invention, so then we can keep our mana up to pay the 2, yada yada yada. You see where I'm going with this, okay? We're also running Rhythm of the Wild to make sure our creatures can get haste if we need them to, but we can also put +1/+1 tokens on them in, you know, in the case that we don't need to give them haste if we wanted to do that. But other than that, we're really running removal. We got 2 Flame Sweeps, 1 Lava Coil, and 2 Shocks. This is just kind of a sweep to make sure we're hitting all our bases. I originally was running 2 Flame Sweeps and 2 Shocks, and I threw in a Lava Coil because there are a lot of times where we just run up against creatures that are like mid-sized creatures, especially in kind of mono green stompy, that we can't deal with Shocks and Flame Sweep, and I want to have just one of these to kind of occasionally zap a creature out of there. But one of the things I like about this deck is that we're able to run Arboreal Grazer, because we really don't want to run other mana creatures. Like, we can't really run Mana Dorks in this deck because of Fires of Invention. That kind of, you know, nullifies the need for Mana Dorks. But Arboreal Grazer helps us quite a bit because it gets mana, or gets lands out onto the field quickly, and then it can just be chump blocked, basically. I like having Arboreal Grazer against, you know, Rakdos Knights, Boros Knights, and stuff like that, and Mono Green Stompy too. This is a nice blocker for those decks. Speaking of lands, we are playing 26 lands, and the main reason for that is because we have to hit our land drops. If we do not hit our land drops, we're going to be screwed, right? If you don't get your 4th mana by turn 4 at the latest, we really want to be able to have 4 lands on the field on turn 3 because of our Arboreal Grazer. But if not, if we don't get our 4th land on turn 4, we're going to be screwed. Speaking of lands, again, we are playing 3 Castle Embereth because we should be able to use this ability later on in the game. And then we're running 2 Fabled Passage. So late in the game, once we get our 4th land down on the field, we can thin our deck out, get those lands out of the deck so we draw into better stuff. And yeah, let's get into some play with this. We're going to take it into ranked. I should say as I do this that this is not a super competitive deck in the meta right now. Like, it is fine and it's pretty fun to play. It's pretty powerful combos, but it's really not super competitive because there's just so much other powerful stuff out there right now. Like, Oko is really controlling the meta, so it's a little bit frustrating, honestly, to try to play other things that aren't Oko. And what is this hand? Can we keep this? You know what? This is dumb, but I'm going to keep it. I like having a Rhythm of the Wild. I don't like playing this deck without having a Rhythm of the Wild at the beginning of the game. And of course we draw a land every time. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Every time I keep a 4-land hand, we end up drawing a 5th land on our draw step. So that's awesome. Okay, let's get a Stomping Ground down. Okay, so this is good. We can play Rhythm of the Wild next turn and then Fires of Invention followed by another Rhythm of the Wild, or not, because they're going to Thought Erasure that Fires of Invention away. And that is pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm guessing they get rid of Fires of Invention, but they could take Ilharg the Razeboar. Yeah, okay, that's not too surprising either. They might have a Duress in their hand for next turn to get rid of Fires of Invention. Ooh, okay. So let's go Rhythm of the Wild. This looks like Dance of the Manse, actually. If we see Esper with an artifact, feels like Dance of the Manse. Yeah, there's Guild Globe. Okay, so this is gonna be a problem for us. We really don't match up very well with this deck. Oh my lordy. Somebody is just stomping around my apartment right now. Yeah, let's go Rhythm of the Wild, a second one. So if we draw into a creature here, we can play it. They might play Doom Foretold, and that's fine because we can dump 1 Rhythm of the Wild. No, they don't have a Doom Foretold yet, so they go Golden Egg to try to draw into it. Okay, no Thought Eraser either. Oh, come on, man. That sucks. Okay, well, let's play Arboreal Grazer. Screw it. Yeah, we're going to give it a +1/+1 counter and haste. Yeah, we'll play that tapped. And then we will... we're going to deal 2 damage, baby. Let's do this. Yes. 2 damage. And then we'll go Fires of Invention and pray to God that we can draw something. A shared summons would be really, really sick right now. But you know, maybe we just can't get it. Maybe we can't. There's a Doom Foretold. That's what I'm talking about. What do we sack? I don't want to sack another Rhythm of the Wild yet. And I want to keep Arboreal Grazer. I'm going to sack one Fires of Invention. That might be stupid, but let's see what we draw. Okay, Ilharg the Razeboar is pretty sick. Give it a +1/+1 counter and haste. Then I'll do that. So I deal 10 damage, and I don't have a creature in hand to trigger that ability. But we deal 10, and we can sacrifice our Arboreal Grazer this turn. The only problem is if they play Oath of Kaya here, that's going to be a bummer. They could just have a Mortify, which would be a shame. Okay, Teferi Time Raveler. What do they bounce? What do you... Yeah, okay, you bounce Ilharg the Razeboar. And then Thought Erasure. Nice. Okay, that sucks. That sucks, but... Okay. I'll sack a Rhythm of the Wild just so I can keep my Arboreal Grazer for this turn. Oh, yes. That is awesome. Please. Oh, my. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Okay, fine. We'll do that. And then I'll play Shared Summons. I'm going to go get a... we need another Ilharg the Razeboar. Actually, you know what we can do? We'll go Ilharg the Razeboar and a Nullhide Ferox. Because if they try to make us discard... Yeah, let's kill Teferi. Just so they can't hold a Time Wipe or something for our turn. We'll go ahead and in-turn. And then when Doom Foretold triggers on our turn, we're going to sack Arboreal Grazer. So we can keep both of these because these are very important. I'm a little bit worried that they'll have a Mortify for our Fires of Invention, or that they'll just be able to kill Arboreal Grazer here, in which case I'll have to sacrifice one of these. Though, if they destroy Fires of Invention, I can still play Ilharg the Razeboar with haste to bring in Nullhide Ferox after that. We gotta be careful about a counterspell. Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out if they can win here. So they'll go, if they have Dance of the Manse, they can play Dance of the Manse, bring back, what, Glass Casket, Guild Globe. They can't really do a whole lot. So they go Guild Globe. We resolve. They need that for Doom Foretold next turn. If they survive the next turn, which I doubt they will, we should win this turn. And then a second Doom Foretold. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. We got this. We go. That's an instant. Interesting. Resolve. Sacrifice that. And then we... sacrifice. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I think I sacrificed Rhythm of the Wild because we have another one to play. So we go Rhythm of the Wild. We play Ilharg with haste, and we win. Let's go, baby! Yes! Yes! Nice. The deck pulls through! We got that win. We didn't get the double pig turn, but we did get the dub. Alright, let's jump into another game, see how it fares against a different matchup. Hopefully we don't see Esper Control again. That would be a bummer. What do you guys think of the mustache? I personally, I'm a big fan of my own mustache, I'm not going to lie. Though I've let the rest kind of grow out, so it doesn't... You can't really see the mustache quite as well right now. Just because, you know, I've got kind of the goatee going on as well. Yeah, we keep this. This is not great, but it's not horrible. I would really like to draw into a... I mean, obviously we need to draw into our 4th land. But, you know, if we draw into a Arboreal Grazer, that's not the end of the world either, because we can get our 3rd mana, our 3rd land down on turn 2. Okay, I'm expecting Fervent Champion. Nope, no Fervent Champion. Okay, so we go Mountain. We pass the turn. So we have our 4th land for Fires of Invention, which is good. We've got to be watching out so we don't get run over here. Runaway Steamkin. You don't see that as often anymore. The Hyperspeed Mono Red is not exactly the meta play right now. But you see it occasionally. Okay, Chandra's Regulator. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so this is looking like a Chandra deck. Nice. So we go Fires of Invention. And then next turn we can play both Escape to the Wilds and Cavalier of Flame. Which will be a pretty ridiculous play. Unless we can, you know, unless we draw into like Ilharg or something, that would be just a stupid play on turn 5. We get Cavalier of Flame, Ilharg the Raise Boar, and with haste. Okay, that's fine. So we go... Escape to the Wilds. I'm expecting that they're holding removal of some sort. Oh, that's dirty. Okay, well, we'll go Cavalier Flame here and hold on the rest of these cards. We don't need the Grazers, obviously. Discard that Grazer. Draw another land. That's good. Yeah, I'll pay 2 life for that. And then we'll, yep. I'm going to attack, see if they try to kill Cavalier Flame. There's no reason to hold my mana up, but I'm kind of expecting them to kill Cavalier, actually. Shock. Dang, okay. That actually sucks quite a bit. I would have liked to be able to play Ilharg with haste next turn. No lands in my graveyard, unfortunately. So we end turn. That sucks, but we can play Ilharg next turn along with Shared Summons. So we're going to be fine as long as we don't get burned out really quickly, which I don't think they can do. Like, we're on 19, and this is turn 5 for them. Or 6? Turn 5, I guess. Okay, so they discard a Regulator. They're digging for Chandra spells here. They may just... I wouldn't be surprised if they just conceded at this point. They've gotten a really slow start. Okay, Embercat. Embercat. Flame Sweep isn't bad. But we will go Ilharg. Shared Summons. Get... Got Eternal Ronus. And let's grab a Ferox. I'm okay with those going into exile. Drakaseth is, for the most part, the least useful creature in our deck. It's not terrible, it's just not super great. Unless it has haste. But other than that, it's not awesome. But playing Indra's Forerunners with Ilharg the Raise Boar is going to be a dirty play. The double pig play is stupid. It's just stupid. Because we'll be... That would be awesome. Oh, that'll be awesome. Yeah, okay, I mean, they concede. That's not surprising. I wish they'd let me play that turn out so you could have seen the devastation we were about to wreak on the opponent. Nice, nice. Okay, those were both fairly quick games. Oh yeah, it's barely been 20 minutes. I will play at least one more game. Probably this is going to be the last one. Hopefully we don't get blown out, because this deck has blowout potential in both directions, right? We can one turn blow out our opponent, or we can just get murdered from the very, very beginning of the game. It's very dependent on our opening hand. We go first. Ooh. Yeah. Fine. We'll start with a Fabled Passage, I think. Yeah, I'll pass the turn. Normally I wouldn't start with Fabled Passage, but I want to make sure we... Oh, yes. What was I just clicking on? I want to make sure we can have this land when we need it. I'll go a forest for now. Okay, we draw another forest. I'll go mountain there. Then we have Rhythm of the Wild for turn 3, and hopefully we can get a hold of Fires of Invention for turn 4. Okay, Azorius Control is a little bit scary. That's what it looks like. Wouldn't be surprised if this got negated. No, it does not get negated. Brazen Borrower. Okay, returns that to my hand. Okay, fingers crossed we draw Fires of Invention here. They may have a counterspell. I'll just go Rhythm of the Wild here. Feels like either they flash in Brazen Borrower or they just counter this. But if we get Rhythm of the Wild down, okay. Dang, that sucks. Because Rhythm of the Wild's little passive where our creature spells can't be countered would be really, really nice against this deck. But alas, no say. You know what? I'm going to pass the turn and then play Shared Summons at the end of their turn, or potentially in response to something that they play. They're flashing a Brazen Borrower. We will play Shared Summons. Do we have uncounterable creatures? Does not appear so. My gosh, it is a little bit stormy today. So we go Nullhide because we want that hexproof. And then I'll go Cavalier Flame. Yeah. Nullhide for the hexproof, Cavalier Flame for potentially the haste plays later, because we don't have Rhythm of the Wild right now. The unfortunate thing is that we won't have our 6th mana untapped on this coming turn. And my lord. Okay, so they pass to me. I'll go Nullhide here. This feels like a counterspell. Absorb. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we're just going to get countered out for the rest of the game, pretty much. Like, they can outvalue us and just deal 3 damage. So I'm looking for a shock here to get rid of Brazen Borrower. Shared Summons. So we do that. I don't really want to play Ilharg into a counterspell because that is bad, but also Cavalier Flame is bad. Like, having this get countered is particularly bad. So in that case, I will play Aggressive Mammoth instead. Hopefully draw out a counterspell. If not, fine. This may just get bounced. If they have another Brazen Borrower, I'm expecting them to bounce this. And then flash in another Brazen Borrower. Yep. Alright, we're looking for a Flame Sweep at this point, so we can not die to Brazen Borrower. This is just the Azorius Fairies. That sucks. Okay, we go Aggressive Mammoth again. We're going to jam this. It probably gets countered. Mystical Dispute. I only have 1 mana up. And then I take another 6 damage here. I'm afraid we're just going to lose by attrition to Brazen Borrower damage. I mean, a 3-1 that I don't have any way to deal with is pretty ridiculous. Gadwick the Wizened. Okay, so they're tapped out. That is good. But if I play Cavalier of Flame... Dang. I go Ilharg the Raiseboar here. Play this. If they don't have removal for this, we will win. We can win next turn. Okay, they have removal, so we lose. Good game. Good game, opponent. We didn't start fast enough, and they were able to counter our spells from the very beginning, so bummer. I think I got time for another one. That was pretty quick. That was a pretty quick loss. As I said, we can get blown out with this deck pretty easily. That is not too surprising to lose to a control deck that's just jamming counter spells, because we really play, until we get Fires of Invention, we pretty much just play one spell a turn. Okay. I'll keep. Bad hand, but I'm going to keep. Alright. Show me Fires of Invention. Shared Summons. Bummer. Okay, Temple of Epiphany, that tells me it's probably going to be Reclamation or Jeskai Fires. So we get Rhythm of the Wild next turn. McJ93, hello. They probably just have an opt or a shock or something, and they forgot that they have to pass priority, buddy. You get okay. Oh, there they go. There they go. This could also be Is It Rowan deck? The Scions. This feels bad. They're probably holding a counterspell at this point. So, it feels bad to play Rhythm of the Wild into a counterspell, but what are you going to do? Quench, baby. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm expecting to see a Brineborn Cutthroats at some point. This may be like a counter burn. I hope they counter this. No, they don't counter it. That's fair enough. I'll pass the turn, see if they flash anything in here. I'm guessing they're just holding for Fabled Passage. They can go get themselves a mountain. Or another island. That's on the table too. If we draw into a mountain or a tap land, okay, there we go. So I'm expecting this to get countered. What would I rather them counter? I think I'd rather, actually, I'm going to hold onto Shared Summons until at least the end of their turn, so that they can either counter it or not counter it. But either way, it will leave us open. Like, it'll tap them down, hopefully, so that we can sneak in a spell, like a Cavalier Flame, maybe. That would be nice. Ooh. Come on, matey. There's an opt. Yeah, I can't tell exactly what this is. I'm guessing it's gotta just be counter burn, right? It's gotta be. This feels like it gets countered. The quench, ugh, that leaves 3 mana open for them to counter with. That's freaking sick. Let's do that. get a forest. We play Escape to the Wilds. This probably gets countered as well. If it doesn't, wonderful. I'd rather this get countered than my Cavalier of Flame. Please, can you just not have any more counters? I hate that our Boar Grazer is just sitting there doing nothing. Kind of stinks. Gadwick the Wizened, huh? Interesting. Okay. We're a mana short from being able to play this and... Dang. This is our chance to get a board presence down, but I also need to remove Gadwick because he taps our creatures. And I'm afraid they're just going to hold counterspells now. And be able to tap our stuff. Let's see what they play, though. If they play anything on their turn. They could just bounce this. Okay, so they play Royal Scions. They tap Aggressive Mammoth. That's fine. Interesting. I will not block that. Alright, show me a land. Come on, give me a land. That's not a land. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. I was thinking I could give this haste, but I'm 1 mana short. Again, the same problem I had a minute ago. And I played this, and now they're going to have a counterspell, and they're going to be able to tap Aggressive Mammoth, and then I lose. This is a punt if they have a counterspell. I'm feeling pretty stupid right now. Unless maybe they just time out and don't play because they're being silly. But this was a huge mistake. The only reason I played this before combat was because I thought I was going to be able to give it haste. But I'm a little dum-dum. And I'm guessing maybe they have a bounce here. They have like a Brazen Borrower. I'm going to submit 0 because I want all the spells in my hand. And we're just going to kill the Royal Scions, if possible. Brazen Borrower. Why did you do that? Why didn't you... Okay, that's fine. I'm really surprised that they did that. Okay. First strike, trample. Do I want to take... I feel like I can't take 5 damage at this point because they have a lot of mana up. That would put me on 10. I feel like I'm 5 shocks away from death at that point. So I do that. I'm afraid that having Gadwick up is just gonna screw us over pretty bad. I need to kill Gadwick. Ilharg. So I go to combat. I'm guessing they play Brineborn Cutthroat. Resolve. Resolve. They probably got a counterspell here. But this is my only option to not lose. And I'm guessing they have a counterspell, so I'll probably lose this one. Oh, no. Okay. Interesting. That is very surprising. We're still going to take a bunch of damage on their turn. But the good news is they don't have a Gadwick on the board to tap our stuff down anymore. The bad news is they quite possibly have a win on their turn, right? So they got 6 damage plus 2 for sure. Probably plus a little more. They might have a shock here. Yeah, so that's plus 2. 7. And if they have another shock, I'm dead. Another shock. That's game. Wow. Oh. Dang it. Well, that was an unfortunate end to what seemed like a decent start. Bummer. I'm not giving up on this deck. I think this has potential at some point. It's hard to play this with as many counterspells in the game as there are right now, or as many counterspell decks as there are right now. But I think once Oko is out of the meta, people will not be playing as many counterspells, because counterspells right now is really the only way to beat Oko. One of the only ways to beat Oko. And so this doesn't do great. It's not great. Also, we lose pretty hard to Oko because he just turns our big creatures into elks. So that's cool. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This deck has been a blast. Be sure to check out MegaMogwai's channel. I will link him in the description of this video because that's where I got this sweet, sweet deck. I did make a few adjustments, of course, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a happy Movember. Peace.